Hey, I'm Jim Weber in the Fox 13 Weather Center. Thanks for logging on to MyFoxHurricane.com. So we've got this area that we are watching, been watching it over the weekend, and we continue. This is Invest 94. You can see an area of low pressure which is working its way on towards the west near the Lesser Antilles, and right now put it about a 70% chance between the next 2 and 5 days that we will see this developing more and becoming potentially a tropical depression or storm. And you know what, I wouldn't really be surprised if that were to happen later on today. Now it's heading towards some land areas, so we may see some warnings going up with this as early as this afternoon or this evening. That would obviously not give as much warning time to some of these areas, but there are some limiting factors. We're talking about on this basic track, there's some land interactions that it would be dealing with across the Caribbean. You've got Puerto Rico, you've got the Dominican Republic. So obviously, this is something we're going to continue to watch very closely as we go through the coming days. Here's another view of it. You can see we're seeing more and more of that convection really starting to consolidate. It looks around a central point. So Hurricane Reconnaissance plane, they are scheduled to fly out to this tomorrow. That's the plan at this point, but certainly this is something that bears a lot of watching. You look at the computer models, and the one thing you really notice with these computer models, among all the various models, you're seeing really at this point a lot of consensus. All these models are tightly clustered, so we've got some fairly strong steering currents at this point. A ridge sitting to the north of this, so it makes sense that it will continue to steer in a path like this. But obviously, anytime you have something heading in the general direction of Florida, and you're in August, you're going to really pay attention to it. So that's why we are watching this very closely as we go through the next several days. I want to remind you, it's still a long ways off, and this is still just an area of low pressure. It's got some convection to it, but there's still a long ways to go with this. So this is not something to sound the alarm at this point, but this certainly is something to watch as we go through the coming days. So here's the European model, and you see just that general idea of an area of low pressure continuing to track on towards the west-northwest. If it were to affect us here in Florida, we are talking about next weekend. So we still have plenty of time to watch this as we go through the coming days, but that is the general idea, and we will continue to keep it updated right here on MyFoxHurricane.com as things evolve with this system.